I'm meteorologist Joe Winters, live here in the TV9 Weather Lab. Give you an update on the winter storm that is moving in once again as we head into our Thursday. As far as changes from the last time we joined you, there have been an expansion in some of the winter storm warnings, which will show you that map, as well as the snowfall forecast. Basically the same, a slight southeastward shift, but overall really remains unchanged with snowfall amounts in most areas. Time frame still remains the same as well. We'll run all that down for you. If you have some questions, we'll be answering those questions as we move along as well. Let's go ahead and take a look first of all at your first alert. That kind of gives you some early timing on how this system is going to move our way. And we have both snow and wind highlighted. Let's take a look at the snow first, because once again we are looking at that snow developing during the overnight hours. Now it could be sooner certainly, but it looks like the heaviest times will start to develop around 3, and probably between 6 and 9 is when we'll see our heaviest snowfall, or the snowfall rates being the greatest. That could last a little either side of that time frame, and then as we head into the afternoon it does kind of gradually diminish as that storm system continues to push through. As far as the winds, that's something we didn't have to deal with the last time because the snow was so heavy and the winds were not that strong, but the winds will be stronger, not great, but they'll be up to about 25 and 30. And as that snow falls, that'll help reduce visibilities, and some outlying areas could see a little bit of blowing and drifting of the snow as well. Here's a look at the latest from the National Weather Service as far as what we're seeing for our winter weather alerts. And again, this remains unchanged from when it started early in the or later in the afternoon as everything came in. They did expand the winter storm warning down toward the Quad Cities, a few counties down toward Mount Pleasant. In fact, all the counties that are highlighted in pink right now are under that winter storm warning. That includes Dubuque County. It does not include Delaware County, as we can see. That's a change from earlier. Lynn County, Benton County also included in that. Johnson County. So we do have Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Dubuque in the winter storm warning. That's really where we're expecting the heaviest snowfall totals on either side. We'll see some snow, and it looks like a sharp cutoff to the north and northwest. That's why you notice only that one tier of counties kind of bordering with the winter weather advisory, as snow amounts will be lighter. But wherever you are, you're going to see some snow in the area, and where it does fall, it is going to cause some slippery travel conditions. In fact, many times more of our accidents happen in the areas that have light snow than the heavy snow, because people kind of take that more seriously, it seems. So something certainly to watch for tomorrow. Here's the setup. Area of low pressures down to the south. It's going to bring some severe weather across areas of Arkansas into areas of the Tennessee Valley, head toward the Ohio Valley as that low moves off toward the north and east. Much more southern track than we saw at the storm earlier this week, when on Valentine's Day we dealt with a lot of rain. You notice the snow breaking out across the plains. That's the snow that will move our way as we work our way through the nighttime hours. Currently, as we take a look at pinpoint Doppler radar, there could even be some pockets of flurries already there. Certainly not all of this is reaching the ground. As it continues to move off toward the east and northeast. You'll notice as you head farther back to the west, and it's Nebraska and Kansas mainly right now where we're seeing more of that snow that is broken out, but already some moisture also moving up across Oklahoma and Missouri. Again, there's moisture being pulled in this storm system as it intensifies, as that movement continues, as we mentioned, off toward the east and northeast. So pinpoint futurecast for our timing. This evening has been quiet. The clouds have been thickening up, and as we're seeing now, and probably we'll see around midnight as well, there will be some scattered areas of light snow showers or a few flurries here and there, but it is during the overnight hours that we really watch that snow start to move in. Let's just kind of move ahead to about 3 a.m. There you see some more moderate snow showers developing in areas from Cedar Rapids down toward Mount Pleasant. By 6 a.m. that starts to spread across the areas. We can see particularly Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Oskaloosa, Iowa City, down toward Washington. Then as we step ahead to 9 o'clock, and we said from about 6 to 9 probably our heaviest snowfalls. With this particular storm system, you notice that does move in a line from Prairie du Chien, Fayette, and Waterloo, and points toward the south, with some of those bands of heavier snow in the dark blue out there as well. And that then extends all the way farther down to the south. Notice it's all in the form of snow, as we're expecting once again, with temperatures staying below the freezing mark, which makes it easier than last week when we had dealt with that transition. Now, by noon, starting to see that back edge approach areas of Delaware, as well as Benton and Lynn County, and then it does start to move out, as we can see, into the afternoon hours. By about 3, 4 o'clock, a lot of that activity has moved off across areas of Illinois, and it certainly does look like any falling snow is done by 6 o'clock. Here's a look at the latest snowfall forecast. Remains unchanged from earlier this afternoon. Trace to an inch, Decorah and Charles City. You may not see anything at all, but even just a few flurries up there could fly. About a 1 to 3 inch band looks like near Prairie du Chien and Fayette, close to of Waterloo as well. And then as you head from Manchester and Dubuque and points to the south, that's really where we're looking at the potential for the 3 to 6 inch band. Yes, that could shift a little bit yet as that track of the low pressure moves our way. And could there be an isolated heavier total? It's a possibility as well. But overall, and just kind of looked at the latest model runs as well, really expecting 3 to 6 inches to be the most common snowfall totals. Now, the thing to watch is it comes on pretty fast, and this happened last week as well. When that transition happened, road conditions quickly got slick. So that's what we'll watch for tomorrow morning. When you join Kai in the morning, as they begin at 4:30, that snow will be moving in, but maybe by 6 o'clock, those road conditions will see a dramatic change. We'll have meteorologist Jan Reichert out in the mobile weather lab as well. And then in rural areas, as this wind kicks in a little later, we've talked about the blowing and drifting. As far as some timing for you in the travel impacts, your Thursday morning commute, yep, it does have the potential to have some heavy snow in the area. Going to be kind of a tough commute for a period of time. Midday, snow will still be with us, and there'll still be some slow travel, certainly as that snow continues to fall. And then that snow ends Thursday afternoon. Roads, though, still remain slick in many areas, especially those untreated areas as well. Now here's the wind gusts, which we didn't have to deal with the last storm. Notice as we work into about 8 or 9 o'clock, some of those wind gusts 25 and 30 miles per hour. That continues into the afternoon as the storm system passes through, and that will cause reduced visibilities along with the potential for some heavier snow rates. That's what we could also see, an inch of snow an hour in some spots. That can, right during your morning drive, really reduce the visibilities. That's why we also see those roads becoming quite slick. And again, as we mentioned, really watch out for rapidly changing conditions, because those conditions will change very, very fast as this storm system moves in. I've got some questions that have come in. I want to take a look at those. We'll just put up pinpoint Doppler radar right now so we can kind of watch what's been happening as it's moving through. Dave from Robbins asked, which way is it moving? Storm itself is going to move east and northeast, and that east-northeastward movement itself is going to allow it to move to our south. So as that low pressure tracks, let's say from Arkansas across Missouri, Illinois into Indiana and Ohio, that is a more southerly track for us. And that southerly track, again, pulls in the colder air, and that's why this storm system is all in the form of snow. So snow itself will also move in from the southwest and head off toward the northeast. We see that, and we can take a quick look again at Pinpoint Futurecast, and you'll see how that storm is, the snow itself is moving in. Notice it's moving east-northeast across the area, and then it continues to push east as that low pulls a little farther east as well. So that's kind of your movement. Eric from Elkader, thanks for that. Why do I like the winter? I love the winter season. I love the cold weather. Don't deal with ice really well, but give me some snowfall. I love that. There's so many things you can do outside in the winter season. You can always put on coats and stuff, get out and enjoy the winter weather, and enjoy sledding and things like that too. So it's a pretty fun season to be a part of as well. Everybody kind of likes something different. I happen to love the winter weather season. Is this the last storm this winter? Darlene from Arlington, no. I will say it is not the last storm this winter. First of all, many times we will see snowfall even in spring, but as far as the winter season goes, we still are pushing into the mid part of March, and many times we can get some heavier snowfall totals that come up in March and April as well. So no, this will not be the last storm. In fact, we already have some snow in the forecast for next week and some days. How much? We'll wait and see how that storm evolves. How much snow in Independence? Now let's take a look once again at your snowfall totals. Thanks, Justin from Manchester, for coming in with that. It looks like Independence is right in that, well, you're real close. The most uncertainty with this storm will kind of be on that line that you see from, just north of Manchester, near Independence, right down just south of Waterloo. Right now I'd put you real close to that 1 to 3 inch band as that storm evolved, but a little northward movement easily pushes you to 3 to 6. But remember, even a light amount of snow is going to cause you some problems on the roadways and some of that blowing as well. Why does radar show snow is falling, but it isn't? Helen from Atkins asks. Well, let's take a look at radar. The radar beam itself, as it goes out, the Earth curves away from it, so that radar beam gets up higher above where that snow is. And in the clouds that it's looking at, there certainly is some snow falling through the clouds, but the radar beam is not looking close to the ground as it gets that distance out, and as a result, it doesn't see that it's not falling to the ground, but it is actually falling through the clouds. So there's falling snow there. It's just in the air above and not hitting the ground. As it comes a little closer and we see more moisture work into the storm, then that certainly will reach the ground as well. Roger, hi, Cedar Falls. A big shout out to Roger from Cedar Falls. You'll be seeing some snow, but it looks like you'll be on the probably 1 to 3 inch side of that storm system as it moves around. Katie and Dubuque asked, will the snow blow around a bit? Certainly more than we did the last time. Snowfall ratios with this storm will make it more of a powdery snow, so we are expecting with winds tomorrow, and we'll pull up the wind gust forecast once again. Again, to be around 25 to 30 at times, starting when that snow moves in into the afternoon and evening hours. It will move some of that snow around. Now, outlying areas certainly going to see the greatest reduction in visibility, or while it's falling as well. And then again, if that snow is blowing across the road a little bit, drifting just a little bit, it can polish the roads as well, and that can cause some slick travel conditions. So certainly the snow can blow around. Katie in Dubuque, thanks for that question. Jack asks, I'm driving to Des Moines for state wrestling tomorrow. Will it be bad there? Not necessarily bad in Des Moines. Let's go ahead and take a look at our map, and we'll be able to see as well as we head farther toward the west. So Des Moines at the intersection of Interstate 35 and Interstate 80 in our map. There will be some snow in that area, certainly, but it doesn't look like the heavier snow, maybe a 2 to 3 inch snow. But I do want to remind you once again, even a small amount of snow can certainly cause some problems on the roadways, and that could be isolated slippery spots. You're going to see some slippery spots as far as the heaviest snowfall in Des Moines. No, that looks like it'll be just off to the east of Des Moines, heading into southeastern areas of Iowa, but certainly exercise caution if you're headed out to the state wrestling tournament tomorrow. If you're leaving from eastern Iowa, your morning drive could be worse than you'll see once you get to Des Moines, but be very, very careful. And I certainly will encourage you once again to take a look at Kai's forecast in the morning for the latest update on where that snow is falling and the latest on road conditions as well. Will there be freezing rain? Devin from Ottumwa asked. Not expecting that. If we see any mix, it looks like far southeastern Iowa, even south of Mount Pleasant. It looks like that's where the best chance would be for any mixed precipitation, which could include a little bit of freezing rain. So not expecting that here. That could be off across areas of central and north central areas of Illinois as well, maybe even over towards Chicago. So we really don't have to worry about that. Here, down in Ottumwa, it looks like you again are seeing snow. Does KCRG get a snow day? Aaron from Cedar Rapids asks. Well, no, we don't get a snow day. It'd be great to schedule a snow day for Cedar Rapids and for KCRG. Booze in the background from that. No, we do not get a snow day. We will be here. We'll make it through, like I said, as far as the First Alert Storm Team. We are having Jan come in, do the mobile weather lab for us for our morning show. Hannah will join us. Corey will join us later in the day as well. And, of course, Kai and I will be here as well to deliver the latest forecast for you, as well as our news crews out showing you what's happening as this storm moves through. So no snow days for KCRG. Speaking of snow days, though, certainly take a look at kcrg.com, download the news app. That's where you find your closings, cancellations, and the delays. You can also find them scrolling on the bottom of our screen as well. So keep that in mind when you're looking for the delays and cancellations, other than the snow day that won't occur here at KCRG. Quick look once again, just give you that timing as we kind of move forward, and then we'll kind of wrap this up for you and have updates, of course, as we head through the night. There's your 6 a.m. picture. Your morning commute looks like it will be most affected by the heavier amounts of snow moving in, lightening up as we head toward the lunch hour, and then as we head in the afternoon, that snow moves out. Overall snowfall forecast pretty close to what it's been since issuance. Trace to an inch in the north, 1 to 3 near Fayette, Prairie du Chien toward Waterloo, and then 3 to 6 as you head farther south. Isolated heavier total. It's a possibility, but again, biggest thing is to watch out for roads quickly changing to slick conditions as that snow develops and moves through quite rapidly. We're, of course, in the weather lab. We'll continue to update on kcrg.com and make sure things are good to go as far as what we're expecting for our forecast. And as always, keep it here on your trusted local news source, KCRG TV 9.